Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott on the administration's overreach on all of this. It was the state of Texas, as you know, that started this brief filed with the Supreme Court to protest these subsidies, saying that they were unconstitutional. Two things, Governor. First, very good to have you on this merger, or at least forced merger, because the parties don't see eye to eye, as you know. Is it predicated on the health care law? Would it fall apart if the subsidies fall apart, or do these guys care? They just see the Affordable Care Act here to stay. What do you think?
Well, and Neil, it's hard to tell. You know, frankly, if you look forward and you anticipate what may happen in the Supreme Court decision, you can begin to see the potential implosion of the Obamacare law. And so I'm not sure of what the thought process is of various different companies about how they are going to be responding to this. But I think that everyone needs to be prepared to deal with some adjustments in the anticipation that King versus Burwell will come out against the Obamacare law.
All right, that is your hope, obviously, as one of the first litigants in the case here. But, you know, Governor, I'm wondering, just reading into this planned merger, whether, at least in the case of Anthem, it cares. In other words, that it is confident that the Supreme Court will rule in their favor, and that the betting is that if the Supreme Court does, the Affordable Care Act is unstoppable. I know you want to see the Supreme Court rule the other way, but do you agree with that? If the court doesn't rule in your favor, that the Affordable Care Act is unstoppable?
I believe the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is in fact stoppable. It's stoppable for several reasons. One is the way it's constructed is damaging to the provision of health care and damaging to Americans and damaging to the doctor-patient relationship. So even if the Supreme Court does not rule in our favor in King versus Burwell, I think both Congress and with a new president, they will go about the process of both deconstructing Obamacare as it is now known and constructing a different health care plan that's going to be more patient-doctor oriented and less government mandated.
Do you think, Governor, though, that if the Supreme Court were to rule as you hope they would, that it's going to put Republicans on defense? Because then Democrats are going to claim, what are you going to do for these 7-8 million Americans who have health insurance thanks to these subsidies? You're going to just leave them out to dry, or what? How would you respond to that?
Right. Well, and that's exactly what the Democrats are thinking is going to happen, but it doesn't put the Republicans on the defense. It actually puts us on the offense because, listen, this is a problem that was created by Barack Obama and his team and the Democrats in the first place. This is a problem created by Nancy Pelosi, who said that they had to enact the law to find out what was in it. Well, now they have found out what's in it, and what's in it looks pretty ugly. And so the Republicans are not going to run to their rescue to try to resurrect a failed law. We are going to do everything we can to allow the law to implode so that we can go down a pathway of providing real health care reforms in this country.
All right, Governor, thank you very much.